Okay.
We're missing our teeth.
That is okay. We got to get started whether or not everyone is here, because they're not online. So, welcome. Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
they were a second ago.
excuse me.
Oh.
Welcome to session 0. We're properly at session 0 of or
Mm.
Forever Hold Your Peace, our little
Is this one
one
streaming?
shot. Yes, everything is streaming.
Okay.
Last
Okay,
week's
okay,
was
okay.
streaming as well.
Have we been
Yeah,
streaming the
yeah,
whole
yeah, no.
time, or are we
No,
gonna
I
start
just
now?
hit stream. I just hit stream. They did
Okay.
not get the Fresno Nightcrawler talk.
Well, maybe they should.
Maybe they should. It's all right.
It's up on- okay.
I'm sure regular viewers also subscribe to the same email chains as me. There's a Snackers Fresno Nightcrawler for those interested. Okay. So, our goal for the today is to kind of go over not only the rules of the game as a game system, but also the rules of the game as like, tabletop between people, rules of the table, etc. So, I'm going to give you guys the option actually. Would you rather go over house rules, table rules first, or would you rather go over game rules first? Game rules is going to
Uh,
take longer.
then house rules.
House rules first? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can do
Yep.
that. Thankfully,
Will
I
we
have this
understand?
handy dandy little form here that I did not make you fill out when you showed interest. I am gonna link it. Let's see. You don't have to fill it out. You just to look at it on your own screen. But I'm gonna be going through it. You don't have to worry about all this. You guys, I know you haven't done this before, so blah, 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 blah. You kind of already have given me all the above information. The thing we're really focused on is this bunch of checkboxes here, which seems like a lot of information, but a lot of it's really, really basic. This is kind of like expectations as far as the game goes. Interpersonal people communication, just making sure everybody gets respected, everybody feels welcome, and also the game can run as intended because in the process of doing this over and over and over, I've discovered so many ways that specific things can break the game. Um, so I'm just gonna read them all aloud. If anyone has problem with any of these, please just tell me now, and we can talk about it. We can work it out. Um, but yeah, so the
Do we
first
have to
one.
fill this out?
No, no, no. You don't. You just have to
Okay,
listen, and
cool.
then if you see something you don't like, tell me.
Gotcha.
Or you have
Thank
questions, tell me. So the first one is that there's mature themes. Um, Not really in this one. There's violence. You're gonna be doing violence. Yeah.
It's me. I'm the mature themes.
Yeah. Kaylee's mature themes, so we're all okay with
I
Kaylee
bring
being
the
here.
mature theme.
Your character might get injured, they might die, they might be transformed into another thing. In a previous campaign, we had someone spend the entire last map as a sea slug. My
As one does.
character from a different game when I was a player, um, in I think session 1, he turned into a hagfish. So shit happens. If you're the kind of person that's gonna get overly attached to your character's character design, just be aware that could very very swiftly change. I just say like be ready to adapt. Uh, there's always more fun in yes anding. If you turn into a fish against your will, think about what type of fish you'd like to be.
Ooh.
This one is just there is no main character. Everyone is equal, especially in this game where we've got 4 complete newbies. I'm gonna try to give everyone the same amount of attention. If one person needs more help than other people, that's fine. They will get that help. But please don't hesitate to ask questions. And if you feel like maybe you're not getting the chance to get in on a conversation, or maybe your roles are really flopping for some reason and you just can't enter the conversation, do let me know. I try to have my Discord open the whole time. A lot of times, sometimes if I'm like in the middle of doing roleplay and I'm like actively talking, I don't read those messages because I can't read and talk at the same time. But
Real.
I will eventually see it.
Skill issue.
Skill issue, yeah. I'm working on it. But I will eventually see it. If you're one of the select very few people in this chat that has my real life human phone number, you can always try that. I will see that way sooner. But for those of you that don't have that, no, I'm not giving it to you. Use Discord DMs.
Is mine? Do I have your current? Has your number changed at all?
Nope. I've had the same number
Okay.
since 5th grade.
Okay.
Alright, so you're responsible for being I'm just gonna check these off so I remember which ones I've said. You're responsible for being an active participant. It can be scary, I know, to do roleplay to do anything in a game, especially when you know it's being streamed live. But if you're not an active participant, I can't really help you. If your character's always hiding in the corner and looking very cool and Batman-like and doesn't want to talk to anyone, I can't help you. I cannot help you. If your character is making it clear they don't want to be talked to, I'm not going to pressure other players into talking to you. So please, please, please remember that. If you're playing like a cool, dark, edgy character, remember you're also playing a game with 3 other people, okay? So if you want attention, you have to allow people to give you attention. If I say, hey, what's Steven doing right now? And you say, Steven wants to be alone. I'm gonna say, all right, what's Kelly doing? And then you can't be upset that I ignored you.
Hey, Sam.
Yeah, what's up?
Can I have some attention?
Yeah, hey, what's up, man?
Uh,
Oh, pat, it's alright, buddy, it's okay. Alright, now that I've given Kaylee attention, let's move on. So this probably won't be as big of a deal because it's a 1 session, and I've kind of designed it that you're all participating in every single thing that goes on all the time. But just so you know, in future games, there can be scenes where your character's not included. These scenes can range anywhere from 1 minute to, in my big tabletop game, The Dragon's Wasteland, we've had entire sessions where 4-hour sessions where a person has not spoken the whole time. It happens. They obviously have a lot of temperament for that, because then, of course, they have sessions where a different person doesn't speak the whole time. It's kind of on a rotational basis. I try to avoid that when it happens, but sometimes you just fall down a roleplay rabbit hole. But
It's just the name of the game.
it's just the name of the game, unfortunately. For this session specifically, I'm going to be doing my absolute best to make sure nobody wanders off on their own. But also, this is kind of a personal responsibility. If you want to go investigate something, maybe say, all right, guys, let's go investigate this. Don't just say, I walk over alone and go touch a bunch of stuff in the corner. Try to include your fellow players. There is going to be NPCs. You can always bring an NPC along, but keep in mind, the NPC is not another player. The NPC is me. So I'm already with you. So just keep that in mind.
Sam's always with me.
I'm always with you. Leave room for me. So you, obviously, this one is just be nice to people outside the game. We've had issues with player infighting in the past in my chats. If I see you misbehaving in my chats, I'm going to be very, very, very upset with you. To the point where, that could result in being kicked from the game. If you're not being respectful, we don't have to put up with it. Not that I expect that from anyone here. Just saying, treat others the way you want to be treated. Unless you're freaky, in which case, keep that to yourself. Alright, you are responsible for showing up on time. I would appreciate at least a 6-hour warning if you know you're not going to be here, but as soon as possible is preferred. Like, if you know next week doesn't work for you, don't wait until next Sunday to tell me. This game has kind of already been mostly prepped. I still have a little bit of art to do. But, it takes a big chunk out of my schedule to do this, so if you're not letting me know that you're not going to be there, you need to tell me that immediately. And also, we can't play if not all the people are here, today being the exception because it's session 0, and people can just go back and watch it. It's information. But if you're having an emergency, that's different. If you're in the hospital, please don't message me. Just be in the hospital, not dying. Yeah, but just let me know ASAP if you're not gonna be here. Game manual and accompanying documents. You actually don't need to worry about this because we are going to be going over all that today. But again, if you need any of the documents, they are available to you in the TDT/system/documents channel in the Discord. You're responsible for your own art and sprites. You guys know that. I've already gotten some. I'm gonna ask for those again closer to the actual session. So just make sure you have them on your computer.
I thought I had to have it done today, which is why I was like, oh shit, I gotta get this.
No, next week. I don't even have my art done for today. That'd be
So
crazy.
I might get something a little nicer done.
Yeah, if you have time. It's what you have time for. I will, as long as you have some sort of visual for the other players to, like, know who they're talking to. Otherwise, we're just going to be imagining your icon. Which, depending on your icon, could be for better or for worse.
Yes, the stray furry
Some
among
kind of rabbit thing in here. Give me the spray.
Excuse me.
I'm kidding.
Bitch.
All right, this one doesn't matter. I already know your characters. This one. Okay, so this one's it's we've got time for humor. There will be jokes to be had. There will also be serious to be had, but we're gonna have fun, so don't really worry about this one either. That's for longer games. At the end of the game, you will be asked to fill out a feedback form. That's because you are technically taking part in a test session. You are doing quality assurance work for the game. Thank you all for participating. You will have to fill out a short survey. It's mostly opinion based. Takes like 10 minutes at the very most, unless you're really getting into, telling me exactly what's wrong. Test campaign. Your game, you don't have to worry about this. Nothing's going to change mid-session because there is no mid-session. There's just one session. The games run for a full 4 hours with several breaks in between. You are expected to be present and active and on mic for the entire time, unless we're having a bathroom break. If you need a break, tell me. I'm happy to give them to you. I try to go for at least one every hour or so. 10 minute break. Sometimes less, sometimes more. It depends on what people need. But you can't. There's nothing you can say to me to convince me to end it early unless you're having some sort of like sickness or emergency. If your house is on fire, please leave. But we also, I don't like to start any later than 15 minutes later if you're running late. Again, if you're running late, I will do what I gotta do. But yeah, just make sure you're available. Don't be taking a 30-minute break in the middle to go make yourself dinner. To have dinner beforehand, pre-prepare dinner. Make sure if you live with people, make sure they know, all right, for these 4 hours, I need to be completely available. They can't be calling you over to go do stuff. Don't be doing art projects in the background that require you to like go outside and paint something.
Has this happened before?
Not specifically to me, but I'm just listing things it could be. Don't say, oh, well, I'm going down to Chipotle for my 5-minute break and then show up 20 minutes later with a quesadilla. So, just behave.
Half an hour with Starbucks.
Think of it like
Only if you're
a test. You got 5 minutes in your test before you get locked out. SATs.
what if they
Don't
bring
mind
back
them.
enough for the group? Is that okay?
What's up? Oh.
What if they
you
bring back enough for the group?
Okay, so if you bring me a quesadilla, we might be able to cut some sort of deal here. Alright. Onward and upward. We can't play if someone's absent for the actual game itself. Just be aware of that. So if somebody doesn't show up and the rest of us are here, sorry to disappoint, but we will have to postpone. We can only postpone a certain amount of times before I have to either kick someone, reorganize the schedule, etc. Because you guys might be new to my server, but up all the way at the top of the server, there's the rules channel, and you will see that at the very bottom of the rules channel, rule number 12, which isn't really a rule, more just a note, is the wait list for other DMs who are waiting to run their game. So the longer that we sit on this spot and don't do anything, the more we are pissing off everyone on that list. And guess what? I'm the next person on the list, so you're pissing me off. But also, Tillian, Trikey, and Sinu will probably also not be super happy because this list goes into probably like the middle of next year at this point. So the longer we wait, the longer it takes for them to get their shit. You'll be asked to leave if you don't follow the rules. That goes without saying. Your shit's gonna get streamed to Twitch and posted on YouTube. Don't say anything on Twitch or, YouTube that you don't want entombed in the internet's psyche forever. Not that people necessarily watch these games, they're more for my personal record, but I will not delete it, no matter what you say. I think I said this last time. You list your full social security, first name, last name, 3 numbers on the back, I'm not deleting it. You're gonna have to get a new identity. I'm sorry. There are often people in the Twitch chat. There doesn't seem to be today because it's session 0, but usually there are people in the Twitch chat. They will comment on you and your performances, You don't have to even look. You don't have to have it open. Usually they're commenting on me and the shit that I'm saying, so you don't really have to worry. But just be aware, you know, you're consenting to being conversed about. You're a performer. You're on the stage. But like in kind of an anonymous way.
Whoa.
I do welcome suggestions to the system. This is a test game. You can, for example, on here, if you want to, let's say you don't like Bloodblade, you can comment, and you can comment your opinion, your suggestions. I accept those. I read them. I try to read them weekly. I don't actually get that far, but I try. So you can include them. They're not required for me to change it to suit your liking, but I will absolutely take any input you have and look at it. It is valued. One big one: do not interrupt other players for any reason. Do not, and if two people are role playing, don't interrupt them with something completely unrelated. Don't ask anyone to speed things along. It's just quite rude. So if something outside of emergencies, obviously, if you're having an emergency, like you're bleeding, and you go, "I'm bleeding," that's fine. Go handle it. But if you're just feeling like you're a little tired, you don't need to announce to the group that you're tired and cut a bunch of people off. Again, DM me if there are concerns. I would be happy to hear them in DMs, but you should never ever be talking over somebody else, especially if they're in game, like in character. Microphones. I haven't heard any issues yet with your microphones, but make sure you turn on your good mic, whatever that is, for the game, headphones, etc. Definitely don't want echo in the recording. This isn't D&D. You should not think of it as D&D. In fact, thinking of it as D&D is going to actively hurt the experience for you because it works very, very differently. A lot of the systems were specifically designed because I have personal beef with Dungeons and Dragons. So, try to take everything at face value. I know that can be hard to ask because it's so easy to compare things, but it's also not like Pathfinder. It's not like Call of Cthulhu. It's not like Blades in the Dark, and it's definitely not like Monster of the Week. I have beef with all of those systems. I think the problem might be with me. No, it is the children who are wrong. I'm very particular about my gameplay experiences.
Fair.
I just know that I work hard on it. It's nipple cry. Yeah, so as the GM, while you're at my table, quote unquote, my table, which is where we are, while you're in my voice chat, I do have it within my right to ask you to do stuff, to not do stuff. So if I'm in your DMs telling you not to do stuff, I'm not trying to boss you around. I'm not trying to, be a dick. I'm literally just thinking of the good of the game and the good of the other players. So please try to understand that. I'm not, if I have to get up in your business because of something, maybe you're breaking a rule or something, I'm not trying to control your life. I'm not trying to be a dictator. I'm just trying to make sure everybody has a good and reasonable time. So just be aware of that. That's not relevant to you whatsoever. All right, and of course, if you break any of these rules super severely, which hopefully all the rules are pretty much like intuitive, like be nice and read the directions, you might not be invited to play in the future. This includes sudden dropouts if you need to leave for a reason that I personally deem to be not satisfactory. And you drop out, just keep in mind you're taking the spot from somebody else, and now that spot is empty, because I will not be able to fill it on short notice. So, you're gonna be. I have a blacklist in my Google Docs. You're gonna be a name on the blacklist, my hit list. No, I'm kidding. No harm
Your
will come
death
to you.
note.
My death note. I'm gonna put you in my death note. I'm gonna say.
Oh no.
Thea chokes on a pea. No. I would at least get you eaten by sharks.
Oh, okay, thanks.
But yes. So,
Wonderful.
does anyone have any questions about that stuff? Like I said, it's mostly intuitive. It's a work in progress. Be on time, be niceys, and I'm in charge. Smiley face. Okay.
Who's second in command? No.
Ah! There is no second in command. It's just me. Okay, so now we're
Nobody's
gonna
president.
go over how the game works. So, show of verbal hands. Did anyone not get the chance to peek through some of these documents?
I've done it in the past.
Okay. Okay. So
wait, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But my Wi-Fi cut out for like a second there.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what you said.
I asked, is there anyone who did not get a chance to at least peek into these documents? I'm not saying read, I'm saying peek.
I took a look.
Okay, cool. So, I'm just kind of go through all my little tabs here. I'm actually going to save the core rulebook for later. I'm going to explain what everything else is. First here on my left, I've got my digital dice roller. You can use physical dice to play this game. I don't, because this game is extremely heavy on the number crunching. If you want to ask what this specific dice roller is, it is a Wayback Machine screen cap of a dice roller that no longer exists online. So you're gonna have to find your own, because this one is mine. Yeah, I refuse to change. My 1995 to 2005 Wizards of the Coast website screenshot is mine. But there's plenty of dice rollers. Google has one. You can also use physical dice. A lot of times you're going to end up rolling like weird numbers, like a 3d4. I might even ask you for some crazy shit, like a 2d9 or something. Shit that you definitely don't have. So just, be aware. Be on your toes. But I usually park that on my other monitor, so that's where I'm going to put it.
Apparently, the one you have that screenshot of is the one I used to use, because, in my favorites, it's gone.
Yep.
Oh no!
Yeah, they took it down a while ago, and I don't know why, because it's literally the best one. It's the best one. You want to know why it's the best one? It has a custom dice pool down here, and it doesn't have any stupid animations like the Google one has. Sorry, I'm very opinionated. We're gonna move on.
You can't send me a link to that?
It's not a link, it's a file. It's a file. See how it says file here? It's running through my Google Chrome, but it's a file.
Bitch, you think I can see that small of a word, okay?
I can maybe try to dig it up for you. I don't know how it'll work for you. I don't know if email will eat it or not, but I can try. Let me close the form as well. Alright, so, we're just gonna go down the line on what all these little sheets mean. So our first one here, show of hands, is anyone taking up the job of inventor? I don't think anyone was.
I don't think we have jobs this time. You just said we're guards and we don't take jobs.
Okay, yeah, so then we don't have to worry about that for this game. In the future, inventors are your only means to use the crafting system. So, something to keep in mind for the future if you want to be building shit out of other shit. Like a fishing net.
Whoa.
Or weed.
If you want to do some Minecraft.
None of you have holy blood. None of you really need to worry about this. This shit, you don't have to worry about. Condemnations. None of you are going to be fighting God this map, I promise.
That's what you think.
You do have to worry about compulsion skills, though. So, compulsion skills are a special type of skill that every single unit has. How it works is that if you have a really close relationship with another unit, then if that unit dies, you get to go batshit crazy. And you get to activate this cool extra skill that is hidden in your sheet. I build these skills custom for you. Your DM will deliver you a handmade custom compulsion skill. Again, you can only use it if your best friend 5 ever dies, is made unconscious, or you get hit with a status effect called Berserk, which makes you crazy. So they're extremely conditional. You will see this pop up on your sheet under, I believe, either permanent effect or, no, inherent skills or condemnations. It might be condemnations. But there's some examples here. Generally, they do a lot of damage, but they're hard to hit people with. That's the rule of thumb. Like I said, you guys are welcome to pre-plan interpersonal relationships. If maybe Kaylee's character and Thea's characters have been best friends since middle school, and you know, they would be absolutely struck with grief if either one of them died. You can go ahead.
Bold of you to assume he went to middle school.
This is so sad. Best friend from behind the middle school, the weed guy.
We were peeking in through the windows.
Good
He
hit.
lives under the bleachers.
Oh, I love this lore we're working on. This is so just like emergent storytelling. Okay, but yes, that's what you can expect. I will talk more about what I mean by like best friends, etc. in a bit. All right, classes.
Wait, quick question regarding compulsion skills.
Yeah, what's up?
So like, do they only exist if you have like a known close relationship in the game, or does just everyone get them?
You can build close relationships as you play. So, for example, maybe Smith and Thea's characters don't know each other; they've never met. However, during the course of the game, you discover, oh my god, we have such great character chemistry. I'm gonna be your guard. I'm gonna come home with you when this is done, and we're gonna ride a horse together or something. Then now you're best friends, and now you can use that skill. So it kind of motivates you a little bit. There's other reasons that you'd want to raise your relationships with people. Which there is a alphanumerical chart on exactly how you feel about someone. Like you can put it in letters, in numbers. From F all the way to S. You can be a hater too.
Wait, there's a chart where you can like describe your relationships with everyone, like F to S tier.
Let me quickly pull up.
That's funny.
Let me pull up the big boy from the other campaign. So this is gonna look intimidating because there's a lot of characters, but please keep in mind for this game, there's like 6 characters. But this is what the chart
also, wait,
looks
one more question. Sorry. Sorry, I keep asking so many questions.
That's what this is
So
for.
if everyone has like an inherent compulsion skill, are they already built?
Are they already built? I have to build them. I will be building.
Okay.
You will.
And
you
will
see
we
one
will we
appear on
know about?
Here,
Yeah,
Sam.
you'll see it.
I have the one from when that session we did. It's less intimidating.
Yes.
There you go.
That is way less intimidating. Good point. Excellent. I did not have that. Okay, so this is the one I ran from my last mini campaign, as you can see. So
I see.
not only do you get a support with the other people in your party, so it's kind of like the column.
When did Cassandra get set to? Sorry, ignore me.
So this is how the column feels about the people on, the top. So for example, Isidore doesn't like Cassandra. Isidore feels neutral about Isidore. You can have a support with yourself. In fact, that's often the most important support, how you feel about yourself.
Fair enough.
F means active threat, as in you are an active threat to the person you don't like. Whether this means you're actively trying to kill them, you're just thinking really, really bad thoughts about them very hard in case they have, psychic flaws. Or I have a character who's a pacifist who wouldn't hurt a fly. She just makes a frowny face whenever that other character is nearby. So it really does depend on your character, but I would say intend to harm, like whatever harm means for your character. D means you really don't like them, but you're not about to, jeopardize your own situation to deal with them. C is neutral. When you meet most characters, you will be at a C, unless you immediately like or dislike them. It's just kind of like, yep, I recognize you exist, acquaintance. B means you like them well enough. Maybe you would consider this like a work friend or a school friend. A means I like you for real, we are friends. Smiley face. And then S means we are best friends forever. And then the secret one, S plus, is romance implied. Really anything plus implies romance. Like you could have an F plus, but also then I'm gonna send a divorce lawyer to your house. This cute little pink number in the middle here is called an ampersand. So you're not gonna really deal with those, but that's basically when feelings are really, really conflicted. Like if a character does something that you both really like and really hate at the same time, the standard procedure with the ampersand is that it has to be resolved by the next session as either an A or an F. You have to figure out how you feel about that by the next session. You either like them or you hate them. Pick one. Because we can't spend all this time faffing about while you try to pick apart your feelings. Because of course we only meet once a week. But I don't expect that to come up during this game.
Died. That's why.
Yeah, she died. She died bad style.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that is the support system. Does anyone have any questions about supports?
Nope.
Okay, excellent. I know not everyone here is a Fire Emblem fan, but in general, like video game affinity charts, you can kind of, make an analogy to this. It's just how do people feel about you? How do you feel about other people, etc. And you will get to fill out your own.
Oh yeah, I do have a question. How often? I know this will be like a pretty short campaign, so I need to worry too much about this. But how often will these, like, I guess, affinity charts be updated?
So, sorry, I'm hovering over Tricky's review of my mechanics. So for larger games, usually I do at the end of the session, everyone goes in and updates. But because we're doing such a short game, which might last only one session or two, depending on how far we get into it and how confused people are, I'm gonna say that you can live update it. I live update my NPCs, but I know that's also a lot to keep track of for players. So I'd say as long as at the end of the game, I'll make a call out for it, like, hey, time to update our shit, and then you can put in your numbers then, or your letters, I should say. But it's up to you.
I see. Gotcha.
All right, classes. We already did this. Classes are just another type of skill. Ultra classes are a type of skill that you have to earn in some way. You will probably not be earning any of these. Probably. There's always a chance you can have 0 luck miracle saves by the end of this. And then, of course, I explained jobs last time. These are for people who are not playing combat type units. All right. Let's talk about dragons. You guys are guarding a dragon wedding. There's going to be dragons. You're getting a dragon NPC. You're getting a human NPC who's like you, and a dragon NPC. I'm going to quickly explain how NPCs work. I control the NPCs outside of combat. That means I am not only acting as them, but I'm controlling their movements, I'm controlling what they want to do, what they don't want to do, etc. In combat, you guys control the NPCs. Meaning that you're controlling their combat actions. I'm still controlling, like, the roleplay side of it. So if you want, Susan. Her name's Susan, let's say. That's not her real name. If I'm controlling Susan outside of combat, but then I hand her over to one of you, and you want Susan to start attacking someone with a sword, you can do that, but maybe I'm providing the dialogue. I'm like, I'm gonna get you, I'm Susan, etc. So you're not gonna have to play a character that is not yours. You're just gonna have to think of it as giving them orders. Like, Susan, go over there. I'm gonna get you, I'm Susan, etc.
This is so funny because my coworker's name's Susan.
I'm sicking your coworker on the enemy. But, so, as far as in-combat NPCs go, the way we determine who gets an NPC and who does not is with a d20. If you roll high on the d20, you get to pick what NPC you would like to control first. This also means if you do not want an NPC, you can say pass, and then the next couple people have to pick their NPCs. All the NPCs do need to be used by someone. So there's 4 of you, and there's 2 NPCs. So 2 people are not going to get the chance to play NPCs this time. 2 people are. If you want to pre-discuss who's interested, again, one of them's a dragon, one of them's a human. Both of them are very combat capable. So maybe if you're playing a super, super squishy character, you want to think about maybe taking an NPC that can help you out and just kind of be your meat shield. When it comes to making NPCs do things they don't want to do, my example from before, a pacifist character, if you hand my pacifist character a hammer and say, go kill that guy, I'm going to step in and say, she doesn't want to do that, and she's not going to. There's certain things you can't make NPCs do, like if there's an NPC who, rule of thumb, does not hurt children. If you say, okay, go kill that child, he's going to stand there and not do that. So it's not, you can't just make them do whatever you want, but hopefully, you'll pick up on their vibe and you'll be able to direct them accurately. As for dragons, so dragons get something in their inventory called a dragonstone. You can use that dragonstone as a bonus action, we will get into that, to turn into a dragon form. In their dragon form, they can't use any of the items in their inventory, and they can't use any of their passive skills. Oh, sorry, their active skills. They can use their passives. They get a whole new skill table instead. It's like, think of it as switching modes. So you get access to all this stuff, and then once they turn back into their human form, they will lose access to this until they turn back to dragon form. It's a little bit difficult to get. I think for the first combat, I'm going to kind of show you what I'm talking about. But it's pretty easy. All you just have to do is to make sure they can use a skill, check their appropriate stat. So if you want your infernal dragon, and you'll know what kind of dragon the person is when I tell you. Make sure they have 10 wisdom, and then they can use catnap. Make sure they have 15 res. Make sure they can use degrade resistances. You are not guaranteed to be able to use all the skills in your dragon's dragon table. Right? If I have an infernal dragon with absolutely dogshit wisdom, they have 1 wisdom, they are stupid as a brick, they're not going to be able to use catnap. Right? Does that make sense?
Damn rip.
Yeah. Okay. So think of it as switching out the nice handcrafted table that I made for this table temporarily. And you can always switch back. It does take a bonus action, but that's not that bad in retrospect of all things it could be. So I'm going to close out the dragon table. There's a whole bunch of dragons in the future if you want to play a dragon. There are oodles and oodles and oodles of dragons. There's so many fucking dragons. Every type of dragon you could possibly think about.
It's almost like it's part of the name of the game.
Whoa, like from the table.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
This
I have
is...
a-
Oh, yeah,
I have
what's
a
up?
question
What's
real
up?
quick. I see the word adjacent a lot, and I was wondering what that means. Like, does it mean you have to be directly aside one another, or does it count as like
They are
diagonals?
adjacent. They are adjacent now.
Okay. Do diagonals count, or is
No,
that
this
not
is
adjacent?
20 feet
Okay.
away. Think of it as movement. It's not necessarily as the crow flies. It's as movement. So this would be 1, 2. Now
Okay.
the diagonal. And this would be 3. Because it's 1, 2, 3 away. Right?
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Go back where you belong. Alright. Sorry, I am blowing my nose. Let's talk about this. The creature manual. So, critters and creatures are a big part of the dragon stable. There's all sorts of things all the way up to level 70. You don't need to worry about that. You're level 5. But everything you could possibly need is in here as far as animals go. Humans, those aren't really in here. There's a basic human type enemy. I will not be summoning the basic human type. The humans have a little bit more effort put into them. But I do recommend, for enjoyment of the game, that you do not immediately go dive for the creature manual the minute you see some sort of creature to try to figure out what it is. It's pretty much most of the time more fun to try to figure it out in-game by using your powers of observation, etc. But if you're really stuck, everything is in here. All the way up to level 70. Alright. Goodbye, creatures. Don't worry about that. Okay. We already went through this. Active skills, passive skills, weapons, items, non-combat. You can fill your inventory with non-combat shit if you want. Maybe not this stuff, unless you ask me first. But if you've got fancy clothes, or a big hat, or a notebook you write poetry in, you can put that in your non-combat inventory. It doesn't affect combat. Upgrades you don't have to worry about unless you get severely injured enough to need a wooden leg. And then this is internal tagging system. That is just for me. Permanent effects, I believe we covered this last time, but just to go over it again, if you get down to 0 HP, you roll a number, 1 through 20. If you roll a 1, you're fine. If you roll a 2 through a 19, you're going to get a fun and sexy new effect for your character. Shit gets weird down in the dark light section. Tumorous overdrive. Creature feature, which is where I turn you into a creature from that manual, etc. Sudden aging. I send you to the beach that makes you old.
The beach that makes you
the
old.
beach that makes you old. There's a lot of weird shit in here.
Appreciate that some of these are just like quick aging and like Cancer.
Yeah, you know how it is. Predisposed to madness. Shout out if you know the reference that is coming from. But yeah, so you don't really have to worry about these until you get one, and when you get one, we'll fix it for you. Heart. Okay. Now let's talk about the core rulebook. So, we already built characters. This is probably gonna go pretty quickly. Let me just scroll. All these different weapon types. What the fuck is this? Never mind. Alright, you're not gonna have to worry
Sam
about building
looking
your
at
own
her
weapons.
own. Sam looking at her own work. What the fuck is
Well,
this?
what dipshit wrote this? Alright, effects. Status effects, we talked about those, I believe last time. In order to clear a status effect, they last forever. Or until the end of the map. So forever for you guys. There's specific rolls you can make to get rid of status effects. Once I give you a status effect, I will tell you exactly where to go to figure out what roll you need to roll. Usually it's something like higher than the enemy's wisdom, or like higher than 10. So it should be doable. Again, unless you've built a truly strange unit. But senseless, we talked about that. That's when your S supports get injured, lethally so. And then you can use that fancy schmancy compulsion skill I'm going to give you. It's called senselessness. It means you go sicko mode and you get vengeance. You can use that skill. Permanent effects, we just talked about that. That's when you hit 0 HP. Some things are stackable, some are not. I will tell you which ones are. You're not gonna have to worry about that. The fuck? Okay, never mind. Fall damage is a thing. I'm not putting any especially high things on the map, but if you somehow manage to clamber yourself up a building and then throw yourself off of it, yes, fall damage is a thing. Yes, it can kill you. The worst it looks like it can happen is you just get lower body paralysis. You can also get head injuries, limb injuries, poison, burns. Just, if you say, I put my hand in the bear trap, don't expect anything good to happen after that.
Damn, that's
think
crazy.
smart.
Throws him off a cliff.
Ah, no! You don't have to worry about affliction.
He's an acrobat, it's fine.
whatsoever. Yeah, he'll
He'll
do
land on his
a
feet like a cat.
flip! We talked about NPCs, so 2 people are going to get their very own special guy to hang out with.
Yippee.
Yippee. You don't have to worry about the solo missions, creatures. Oh, did anyone end up with a mount? I forget.
Cars
there a
are
horse?
to the stars.
Okay, so that when they listen to this in the in post in the Twitch VOD, hello from the past.
Hi!
You guys, anyone with a mount, again, you can sacrifice your mount once to kill it instead of killing yourself. But not always the best idea. Just think before you do anything stupid. Because once you kill your mount, that's it. You're gonna have to go buy a new one if you want a new one. You don't have to worry about the golden spudlet. So
I want to worry about the spudlet.
Yeah, I'm very worried about this
Yeah.
budlet, actually.
don't worry about the fucking spudlet. There is no spudlet in tabletop. Alright, hold on, let me take a sip.
Oh,
The spudlet is a lie.
The spudlet is a lie.
The
No, the spudlet is
ignore
real.
the-
He's just not here. His name is Reginald.
Oh, that's so sad.
I love him.
So, let's talk about actual combat because this is the meat and potatoes of the game. It's turn-based and it's strategic, which means you are required to talk to your fellow players to figure out what you want to do. You cannot beat the whole map by yourself. I'm telling you that right now. No matter what kind of character you've built, no, you are not going to single-handedly save the day. You need everyone to be kind of working as a team. I feel like that goes without saying. So if you're a DPS, make sure you talk to the person with the most health or defense. Make sure they also know what's going on. When it comes to hitting the enemy, you guys are level 5, which means you fit in this level 1 through 19 category, which means that when you need to hit the enemy, where's my dice again? When it's time to go hit the enemy, you're going to roll a skill check, which means a d20, a single d20. So I rolled an 11. Let's say my modifier for skill is a 6. That means I would get a 17 to hit the enemy. And then I would check if I'm doing physical damage, it's against defense. Let's say their defense is a 12. My 17 is higher than their 12, I hit them. Okay? I believe I went over this last time. If your roll to hit, your full calculated number is below their defense or resistance, whichever, then you do not hit. And then it is their turn, right? So you're not always going to hit. The numbers can be pretty high. I highly recommend, before we start playing, you read through everything that says combat down, until we get to the non-combat. Yeah, this is non-combat. So all of these, I do recommend actually reading them, because it can get a little confusing. Or you can watch a VOD on my YouTube channel, where you will see experienced players doing it smooth as butter, which can help with the understanding for sure. Critical hit, 20 on your primary die. You only have one hit die, that d20 I just talked about, so you don't have to worry about any other die. If you get a 20 on this die here, let's see if I can get one. Oh, I just got one. It went away. If you get a 20, that's critical hit. You automatically hit no matter what the enemy's defenses are like. If you get a crit, you double your dice damage. Not your combined dice damage plus buffs plus mods. No, just your dice damage. So if I roll a 2, it gets doubled to a 4. Okay? And then I add my mod and then same thing with the 1. If you roll a 1 on this die, can I do it? No, I'm too. Oh, I got another 20 though. Lucky day for me. If you get a 1, it's a critical miss. No matter what, even if your enemy has 0 defense, you miss. If you roll a 1. Then your turn is just over. So let's talk about actions. You have to do your movement before you do anything else. You can't do a little movement, do something, and then retreat. Once you stop moving and you do something, that is your turn. You are stuck there. Okay? So, make sure wherever you're moving, you want to end up there at the end of your turn. You can double your movement by dashing. If you dash, you can't complete actions or full actions. You can still do a bonus action. Dashing counts as a bonus action. But you can't do big stuff like attacking. You can't do any like crazy magic spells. You're just kind of gonna be doing like a little thing. Full action means that you can't move at all. So you're gonna start and end your turn the exact same place. Full actions are usually super powerful skills. Shit that does like 4d20 damage. I don't think any of you guys have anything like that. I don't think anything like that's appearing on the map at all. But just in case I decide to get a little sneaky with it. That's what a full action is. A normal action is what you're going to be encountering 99% of the time. So, if it says as an action, that means a normal action. So under this umbrella, we've got our basic weapon attacks, we've got using items, and we've got making checks on things that aren't right next to you. So, for example, I bring back my map. Oh, my map here. Grab Octavia. These 2 units are next to each other. She would get to make a check against this guy as a bonus action. But if she's all the way over here, it's an action. She's not close enough to do it for free, essentially. So, that's actions. Most things you do will be actions. If you're ever confused about what is and is not an action, please let me know, and I will clarify for you. Rescuing. Let's see. So a rescue to rescue means you pick somebody up. You have, where'd my thing go? In order to rescue someone, you have to have more attack than they do defense, or more strength than they do defense, so that you can physically lift them up. If your wimpy little mage guy is trying to pick up your super swordsman, it's probably not going to go very well. But if your super swordsman's trying to pick up one of your wimpy little mages, he'll probably be fine. Just check the numbers against each other. It is an action to pick someone up. And let me just check, make sure. dropping a unit is a bonus action. So you could do something else after you drop someone.
Out of curiosity, is rescuing impacted any way by mounts?
No, it is not.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, no, it is not. The understanding is just kind of like you're leading the mount. You're not picking it up with your big strong arms, unless you'd like to.
No, not picking up the mount. Like, if you're on a mount, will that impact
Nope.
your ability to rescue? Like, make it
does
easier or
not.
harder?
No, it does not.
Gotcha.
It does not. You can't expect the horses to do all the work. You can steal as an action. There is the DC list here, which means basically the likelihood you're able to succeed. So if somebody is actively staring at you while you're trying to pick their pocket, it's going to be much, much, much more difficult than if they were asleep, unconscious. They may be focused on multiple things at once. So if you're planning on being any kind of thief guy, just be aware that if I'm looking at you with my eyeballs, you're probably going to be less likely to succeed. Again, if you're facing like a heavily armored foe or somebody who's got like a lockbox or a backpack, it's going to be a lot harder to steal. So while it might be easy to steal from his friend, if you don't succeed with the same roll on a different guy, that's why. Additions are something that can be added to an attack, basically for free. It'll say in the skill whether you have an addition or not, and it's just like, oh, sometimes it's extra damage, sometimes it'll add like a status effect to your attack, etc. If you don't see it in your sheet, you're probably fine. Bonus actions are little actions that can be made before or after your regular action. So during a turn, you could either make an action and a bonus action. You can make 2 bonus actions. You could just make an action. You don't have to use a bonus action, especially if you don't have one. If you're using a full action, you can't have anything else. That's your whole turn. But bonus actions, you can use a whole bunch of them. Conditionals are a little weird. They're a free action, but you have to have specific things going for you in order to do them. So, for example, conditional action. Let's say I have a conditional action, which is the doors can be opened, but only if you're standing next to them. If Octavia's over here, this is Octavia, she can't open the door as a conditional action. She's too far away. It doesn't apply to her. But if she's standing next to the door, then she could attack this guy, but she could also open the door for free. I'll tell you when something is a conditional action. I might be putting conditionals on the map. This is good for, like, puzzles and shit. If you have, like, oh, as a conditional action, I try to solve the puzzle. That kind of thing, so that you don't have to spend a whole turn failing at puzzles. Which is what I'm usually doing. Adjacency checks. So we had all those lovely proficiencies that we set up last time. Let's take Octavia again. If Octavia's next to this guy, she can make a whole bunch of checks on him. She can make a history check to see where he's from. She can make a medicine check to see if he's injured. She could make a perception check to just generally take a look at him. What's his vibe? She could make a combat check to try to determine something from a sheet. If you make a combat check on a unit, I'll give you information like their exact HP, the skills in their kit. If you make a weaponry check, I'll tell you exactly what weapon they have. So please feel free to make any and all checks. If you're standing next to something, you can do it for free once a turn. Okay? So there's no reason not to be doing that literally every turn as long as you're next to something. And you can go crazy with it. I will answer any question. So if you make an acrobatics check against this guy who's standing completely still, I will give you an answer. Right? So please don't be afraid to think outside the bun. Let's see. You don't have to worry about sand. Reactions are skills that can be used on turns that are not yours, usually on the enemy turn. So, for example, there's a reaction that lets you guard. If I say I'm attacking you, and then you say as a reaction I guard, I say, oh, well, you guarded. Fuck me, I guess. And then we keep going. So it's basically skills that can be used outside of your turn. You gotta read those carefully to determine exactly when you can use them. But they should be pretty self-explanatory.
Are
Counterattack.
reactions like confined to specific skills, so if you don't have a skill that allows you to react, you don't react?
Correct. Yes, it'll say in the skill description whether it's a reaction. You don't have any, like, the only, like, inherent reactions that you have are listed below. So you can counterattack. Let's say these two are getting in a tussle. Let's say she's this far away. They're in a wizard battle. If he attacks her, then she, as long as she has a weapon that could reach him, can auto-attack him back as a counterattack. You can't double based on speed. You don't get any extra attacks. You get one attack back at him, and then maybe if he's faster than you, he'd go again. So that's one of the reactions everyone can do, as long as you have a weapon that can reach.
So if someone attacks you, just regardless, you can counterattack if your weapon has the reach.
Correct.
And I assume the enemy can do the same thing back.
Correct. Yes, sirree. They can and they do. Attacks of opportunity. So if you are moving out of somebody's melee range, which means right next to, if you're moving out of their melee range, they can take a free swing at you. It's like a counterattack, but you did not attack them first. So just be careful if you're surrounded by, let's say we put 3 guys here. She should probably not move out of that space, because if she tries to go here, she's going to eat 3 attacks that she cannot counter. You can't counter an attack of opportunity. You just kind of got to take it. So be careful with your positioning. You never want to end up in this situation, unless your build is something crazy with counterattacks, but I don't think anyone went for that because it's a bit complicated. So just be aware. Oh, he's screaming.
Is attacks of opportunity the... Oh, okay, it's only an enemy thing?
It's no, for you and the enemy. If something leaves your space, you can also do that to them.
Okay.
In general, I would say for this system, there's very few things that you can't do that the enemy can do. It's very equal.
Oh.
Everything the enemy can do, you can also do. That goes for learning their skills, doing their attack patterns. Everything you can do, they can do, and vice versa.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very self-balancing in that way. If I put in some bullshit, just know that the bullshit is also achievable by you. Alright, free actions. So, the free actions are your basic shit.
You cut off there.
Oh.
You cut off there. You said if I put in some, and then it just cut off for me. I don't know why.
If I put in some bullshit, that means you can also use the bullshit. If I put something crazy on an enemy. Alright, let's talk about free actions. So, free actions are shit you can do in combat that isn't really combat relevant. Talking to people is a free action. Spitting in place is a free action. I don't know. Taking a piss is a free action. Roleplay based actions are free actions. Anything that doesn't directly affect the flow of combat is a free action. So if you want to go ahead and eat a Nature Valley Crunch bar in the middle of combat as your free action, you can do that. I will not argue with you. But that's all the types of shit you can do during your turn. My lovely friend Trikey at some point made a guide for beginners on exactly what you can do, like your different options. So I'm gonna ask him for that again, so I can share it with you people.
That'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, I will ask him for that. Sorry, the person whose little sprite I was playing with here is our Twitch chat here for the day. Shit, yeah, Tavia, brain damage. Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about phases. So, the maps exist in phases. And also, I do have a little guide right here. This is all the different paths you can take. But the map exists in phases and turns. Phases are basically you, the enemy, allies, etc., etc. If there's 90 different armies on the battlefield, A, your DM has designed a bad map, and B, there's going to be a lot of phases. You can expect player, enemy. 2 phases. You can move on your phase.
Hang on, it.
What?
Thea disconnected from the stream.
I had to switch to my phone because my computer just freaked out.
Okay, I didn't know if your internet or something.
No, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm okay.
You're okay? Alright, we're almost done. Alright. And then those phases are broken down into turns. So we got Kaylee's turn inside the phase, Thea's turn, Smith's turn, etc. There is no specific turn order. When I say it's player phase, anyone can start us off, anyone can finish us off. Your NPCs also exist during player phase because they're being controlled by players. Just know you got one turn per phase unless some weird shit is happening. Map turns are recorded in sets of 5, so you'll see on the bottom of the screen, I'll have turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5, depending on what it is. During turn 5, enemies can use their most powerful skill on you. They can't use it any other turn, so turn 5 is the turn to plan for, and then once that's over, it goes back to turn 1. Let's see.
Quick question.
Mhm.
If there isn't like, sorry for bringing a like mild D&D comparison here.
No, you're
If there
good.
isn't anything like what's it called, initiative, how do we make sure things are like organized with regards to who takes their turn when? It's like, for example, if 2 people want to go at the same time, that might be a little disorganized.
I have not encountered that being an issue so far. But I'm gonna tell you what I tell to all the little boys and girls out there. Talk to each other. Make friends. Be
I think
nice and
when the last campaign I was part of, I think we just kind of decided on an order that we went in and just kind of left
you
it
can
at
do
that.
that.
So
Okay.
it was
It
was
also
basically
depends
initiative,
on
but we just decided it on it instead.
it also depends on maybe the map layout. Let's say that you're surrounded and you can't do anything even though you would normally go first. Then maybe Kaylee jumps in and takes point on that turn. It really is
Got-
adaptable to the turn that you're in.
Gotcha. So it's just mainly based on communication, and if you're like, hey, I want to go, and everyone like agrees with that, and it's like, cool, you go ahead.
Yep. And like I said,
Okay.
there isn't really such thing as kill stealing or one-shotting. You're not going to have someone who's taking the first turn every single time and then killing everything on the field before everyone else can get there. It's not a thing in this game. You're going to very quickly realize that it does require a lot of communication anyways. This is just one of the parts that requires it. All right, let's talk about map objectives. I will tell you very explicitly what the map objective is when you get there. Some examples:
Helpful.
kill the enemy, kill the boss, solve a puzzle, escape, free a prisoner, recruit somebody, or survive. Message to all bitches: please survive. But yeah, so you'll know what you have to do. I'll make it extremely clear what you have to do. You kind of already know. Guard the wedding. That's your objective. But you'll get more clear instructions when you get it. As far as map squares go, each of these little squares occupied by 1 unit is 10 feet. Okay? 10 feet away is melee range. 20 feet away is range, and anything outside of that is siege range. Make sure you know the ranges of your weapons so that you're not trying to shoot someone from 40 feet away with a 20 range bow. It's happened before. Very embarrassing for all involved. The goblins laughed.
Quick question.
Yep.
So if it's the square right next to your square, that's 10 feet away in melee range.
Correct.
And then the square next to that square is 20 feet away.
Correct.
Gotcha. Anything outside of that is siege.
Yep. Anything outside of that is siege.
Cool.
There are, like, for example, there's a weapon called the longbow. The longbow can only be used at a range of 30 to 40. So while that is a siege range weapon, it's kind of like a specific part of siege range. So it counts as siege range, but it can't fire from 50 feet away.
Yeah.
So that's important when it comes to counterattacking. So if I have a guy over here who can do siege range damage from anywhere, if you have a 30, 40 range bow, yes, it's siege range, but you can't reach him, right?
Gotcha.
Not that I think that'll be an issue for a beginner game. All right. Onwards. There's lots of terrain types. You're not going to really have to worry about this. You're in a cobblestone courtyard. But if you want to give it a read
Flat
for...
outdoor?
Yep, flat outdoor. Move normally. You shouldn't... There might be obstacles, like there might be a table, a column that you obviously can't walk through. But overall, you should be smooth sailing as far as terrain goes. Obstacles, objects, blah, 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 blah. We talked about that. Ballista, there better not be any ballista at this wedding. Don't have to worry about overlays. You do not have to worry about crazy AoE shit happening to you.
Wait, you didn't hear about the tradition of the wedding ballistician?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't account for the wedding pattern 20 full map damage attack that the wife always does to her beloved guests. Yeah,
Since testing who's worthy to be her in-laws.
Yeah. Anyone who survives may officially join the family. We kind of went over damage types. We did weapons. You can attack unarmed if you somehow lose your weapon or decide you don't like your weapon. You can unarmed attack. It's just your strength modifier. You don't add a roll. You just say, I have a modifier of 3. I'm attacking with 3. You guys are so low leveled that you probably don't have modifiers, so I don't recommend it. You're just gonna break your little hands.
Yeah, I just straight up have a negative modifier. That won't work.
Magic also has unarmed attacks, but you take HP damage equal to your magic modifier every time you do it. So that I suggest even less for someone at this level. You can improvise a weapon. Its damage base is based on the weight of the item, and you have to have a specific strength to lift those items. So if you're lifting up 21 pounds, if you're lifting up like a table to hit someone with, like, you know, a wrestler, you have to have at least 17 strength to do so.
So if my guy uses unarmed magic, he gains 4 HP.
No.
Got
No. 0 HP and does no damage. It just doesn't work. He just stands there with his like arm outstretched. He's like, "My power," and then it doesn't fucking do anything. And then all the dragons laughed at him.
Good, he would do that on purpose.
Oh yeah, the jester hustle. Alright, we talked about roleplay. Be niceys to each other in roleplay. Here's the check kind of DCs. 0 is very easy. It means you literally can't fail it. I'm just asking you to do it for practice. There might be a couple of those in the beginning. DC of 20 is difficult. DC of 30 is impossible. The ones down here are ones you can expect. 5, 10, 15, stuff like that. Supports, we talked about these. Do not worry about S sacrificing, actually. Please do not kill yourselves. Heart. Shops. There might be some shopping to be had. I don't think so, just because you're at a wedding. I don't know. There's no cash bar. It's an open bar. But yeah, there could be shops. Altars, don't worry about it. Training, don't worry about it. Do not be organ transplanting each other in my mini campaign. Please don't interrogate anyone in my mini campaign. Please don't have flesh children in my mini campaign. It's somebody else's wedding, for the love of God. And you don't have to worry about this. This is a different game mode. She's already married.
I don't care.
Oh my god, what a scam. Okay, but that is the basics on how you play the game. Does anyone have any questions before we wrap it in for the world's fastest session?
Speedrun world record.
Not at the moment. Again,
Rules
if
any
you...
percent.
Yeah, any percent.
80%.
If you want to watch a couple minutes of a experienced group playing through it very, very swiftly and without issue, there are VODs on my YouTube, which is DT75Art. It's the Dragon's Wasteland campaign. Probably one of the newer ones is gonna play better because at the beginning they were just as clueless as you guys. But they got there eventually. So
I feel like at this point DT stands for Dragon Table instead of Dragon Tamer.
Dragon Table. Oh, you're so right. I need to
Table
rebrand right now. Somebody write that down. Hold on, Kaylee, you might be genius.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. I need to sit on that for a minute. But other than that, yeah. So if you just want to look at a bunch of people playing the game really well, that I would take a peek at, even if you only watch like 5 minutes, just one turn of it. Might be worth your time.
Cool. I might do that actually, because like I feel like a lot of times when I get instructions, I think I understand what's going on, and then I go and actually do it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, I have no
Here,
idea.
let me pop open my. Welcome to my files.
Well, the
Let me
private
pop open my
file.
file. Let me see if there's a specifically good one in here that was a good map. Without a lot of shit going on. Armory had some shit going on. Okay. There's any of like the arena style ones were good. It looked like just fucking open it. Piece of shit.
Real.
Oh, hold on. There's often the
My favorite
graphics.
map.
No.
Beautiful
HD
map.
quality video game.
The map looked like this. If you could find any of the VODs that have this map in it, this was a pretty clear-cut, clean one. There was some necromancy going on, but it was pretty simple.
Walk-in horse.
Hot.
Walk-in horse arena.
Okay.
Yeah, that one went pretty well, and there was the Luan arena as well that went really well. Luan arena, which looks like fucking house.
Back
Fucking house.
It looked
in
like
the mountains.
it looked like this.
Like carpet.
I'm in the house like carpet.
Like carpet.
But yeah, so if you find any of the maps that look like these two, arena maps tend to be pretty simple because they're arenas, so it's flat and you're just fighting. There's no weird shit that I'm doing to you. So if you find either of those two, but honestly, any of the combat maps should be at least a little bit informative.
Cool.
If you sometimes we would go months and months and months without doing combat, so if you find yourself in the middle of 10 hours of role play, just skip around until you see units moving around a map instead of fucking we're at a house in the woods. All right. But that is all I wanted to deliver to you guys. Thank you all so much for coming. I look forward to seeing you bright and early at 6 p.m. sharp.
Did anyone get any word from
No.
Tooth?
They're online.
I know that's not their name.
Tooth.
Mm.
They're online, so I will be messaging them later to remind them to check out the VOD before our next session. Thankfully, it's only an hour and a half, so it should not be too painful of a watch, and they can watch it at times choose.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. Thank you so much for coming. I'm looking forward to it. I will see you all next week.
Yay.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.